BOST FM 104.3. Good to meet you.
Also,
me that's bebre. Nana, me foi my prof Canada. Say baha. I am my resource person like this. Na ombaka asemno. Na yeso intum fire no ntum. Na ade ye be fi ha mo no. Na ya tre ye nuanum bibi. Ya papa mu na wetum watase. I think they are very critical. Me feel on Musala na some of them kind on the Progressive People's Party. 10 years in. We are in the 10th year anniversary. Party papa preko. At yanka brim. Yenyira yentimi yenyimpa kwe. Yenyira yentimi nya idea kwe. Yenyira yepekwana yepeda yeso o mangana. Na yede adwen na yewo yedeba. Na azibia oya obeka ye bum. Yetmenya one purpose. Ono na yefuado. Enti for example, prepare other boss that no no pay wa beka say. I think they were elevating to a certain level in the partisanship. You took the twinching.
that's right.
Because I mean, a business restructuring specialist. The whole year to ailing companies. They are restructured. They are bringing on to profitability. And in some of papa can either music to my ears. Professor, I got business, let's say for business. The first thing I where are the loopholes? Where is the fat? Now a cut you close the loophole, a cut the fat now automatically balance sheet it begins to look good. Mamite ma punyin orekan wa recognize loopholes. And I also kwana obesisi loopholes. Now, when you work it one step at a time, it is no wonder there also results. Ebi na eka there, be intentional. You don't hope. There we will hope when you move, but you work at it.
That's right.
Day in, day out. I'm also happy there. There I kasa me and ye partisan with our discussion. You are a professional. You are a Ghanaian. Professional. A qualified there. Ebe wo baby e one. Wejuma. They na obejuma or a part of the package. The challenge with areas they be there or a soft belly. Politicians, they be operating with the agri before now or a VRA. As you expanding now, you free hydro production of energy. Now they ever add the thermal and other sources, it was no longer a soft belly. They could just jump there and do their thing. We hear the same thing with BOST and other institutions that people have a perception there is something to be gained from there. Nti ya na say onkoye wia na yenyu abreon. Yenyu abreon ye hwehwe the next soft belly. Nti the history of BOST has been a history of interference from the politicians. I won't allow the right processes to go on. And are big lobbyists because of the oil sector, the funds involved. These people will need peace. And you need a courageous man, a courageous Ghanaian. Obia owatema odema omano. There, meso I will take decisions about the nation in the long term. How can we have a nation? Akokra pipes. pipes no go install agene rust. Now I move from
Oja ba kokra omu.
Pipe.
Oja bibi kra omu say pipes no go na rust no wa na yakotu eska na o asa penti ho aman.
What man anti-rust. So you see, Nana, this, but you see, this is indicative of a certain attitude, a national attitude.
Charlie.
You hear Crawford to try and break it, and the national attitude, you know, so we need to support such people. Grandpapa, and you Viviana, in the partisan.
Adam is my grandpapa.
You represent authority. You represent authority. And the cardinal, the issues now. The restructuring and attempt at restructuring, and open all the technology or the shame to stop there. It ensue for the same volume of insuno will get to the other side. But the oil left for it doesn't get to the other side. What would be anything. But the other part in there, opinion there is speedy processing. Because recognition of the problem near one. Quick solution and making sure that you prog it is the other. And it's not as easy as we say. There are stakeholders also livelihood, you know, is for things there unquay until you are fighting against forces, but you must have a strategy of how to overcome the forces, and the media partnership and citizen engagement is part of it, because it's a corner. Let's say I'm way as in him now yantase, so that Obi Otini can pray for you and can give you a support for you to be able to overcome the huge obstacles are over way. Meaning ain't yet successful until you must let us know the role of citizens, the role of us at large are able to, because as in a you know, on your sebe unana ne limited liability company or a Ghana as na air shadow na a bomb by na yenya faso. Until on that end, you know, opinion. I don't think that any right-thinking person will want you to fail, because if you fail, the nation has failed. Your burden, they be a year gwan, yako baby, yako streska, na sika waya ho, na yentumum plug holes na, or yenyiman, yebutum, yedako yenyim. What's we are losing about $2 billion annually to Katasina prayer. It is a issue. We need to be able to re-engineer your major institutions like BOST to be able to meet the needs of us as Ghanaians. Because if you put an institution there and the institution on to meet the needs, not on what with the aspirations of us as a nation, then that institution is in quotes a useless institution. And the potential of this place, you know, it has the potential to be able for us to move forward. Politicians should stop looking at these institutions as Sub-Bellies and putting pressure on the technocrats to not be able to achieve what they are supposed to achieve. You know, we all get to some place because of something, an affiliation, an association. But once you get there, you know, it's about delivery. It's all about the delivery. Into opinion, when you do your analysis now, let's not get into the comparative is there, but the comparative is with you. That I came, this is what I met. Here is the picture, snapshot. You give us a snapshot of what you came to see. You give us a snapshot of where you are. You give us a snapshot of where you want to be. Na yenyina ya hwe. Na yetum ya boabado. Na atum a transcend a political party. And they be a PPP in and out. But the late Barry, they be me to meet the man. The man was an ultimate Ghanaian citizen. Mukone constituency. and I was waiting for the taxi rank station there, waiting for him. Na papa bay. Oba anything I call. Ne car now otimino. On not telling him. We'll roll it down all the windows. Ni executives in the car ni movie. 1 year by 3 or 4, 5 cars. And he was not using air conditioning. Oba anywhere dusty. All huggy obia no chichi obia. When I saw this man, something said, there's something very different about this guy. And Obiaka up to today. Until when we all have our positions now, let's make sure that you put it together across a perception, an image of somebody who's an ultimate Ghanaian. And the ultimate Ghanaian, you will always be remembered for it. And that's how you create people of martyrhood. That 2,000 years after, 100 years after, 50 years after, Tina Bushambiano, your ancestors. Obia, oye, bibi, extraordinary within the family. Obia, pedo, otto, neba, oba, there to din after that person. Because why exhibit bibia, oye, extraordinary among us. Into young for the man in fancy ya dream. Now you find ye juma. In the business restructuring, papa other what the universities. Now business classes now where you know. Theory now where you know. One fast some of these practical people, one bra. Now when you hear the theory of restructuring now, then the person gives you the practical aspect of restructuring. But you know, what were some of the things out in there to my approval. Some of the things are say I could do, baby I do. Or you're very important there. You have to make sure that there's a bridge between academia and practitioners, both in business and in public life and in public service. Because they motivating. It's not about it's not about condemnation. And I say a leader, sir. Into me by there, sack will be out because you don't like them. That is not leadership. You have to find ways and means in which they able to pull the best of the people out of the people at anyone ye juma. Now etuma making sure that you bring them on the same page to be able to move on. If you're talking about, I would love to see a time where the increase in the margins are all used to say to repair, restructure, and put all those things down. After a point, that thing must come back down, because this is what emergency situation. You went for that to deal with the situation that was at hand. Once you deal with the situation, once you restructure, once the pipe, we can get 1 for 1 in terms of oil movement from one end to the other, and once we can do proper accountability for a human then we will envision the time where these margins will come down to save Ghana some money, and then by that time, also restructure the company in such a way that ojinanenado, or you're very important. And then there are some certain positions in our system or then conferring security of tenure, because you see some of these positions. You are working against so many stakeholders and you are trying to do the right thing. And stakeholders have a way of forming themselves into cartels, into clubs, in the way in which they will destroy you, they will malign you, they will pull you down. So if certain people or certain positions that we have in terms of revenue generation and all this for the state, they don't have security of tenure and all those things that. These are fundamental things that are incorrect with the system, that we need to discuss these things. And so this is not about the person that is sitting there. This is about Ghana's assets being protected, being restructured, making sure that they have value for money in whatever it is that we do.
Mate.
So yakade sika wa Ghana, sika no wa Ghana.
Yet is gas one day.
Catch me he say your course be Department of Psychology, boss manager.
Your course now.
Course now. We are for final year students.
Prof, your friend is saying.
This FM 104.3 wotumi ntaake